Hello Aries and welcome to 2020. This is your annual forecast for the beginning of the new decade, and I must admit I'm a little bit excited to do this reading for you because it is going to be an epic year for you Aries. It's written in the stars, it's written in the cards, and I don't say this lightly, but it is literally the year for you to go for it, your game-changing year. So let's get started. Firstly, I want to just talk to you about the main kind of themes or events you can be expecting when it comes to your astrology, and then I'll get into the tarot. I think for you this year, the key words for you are focused all around your greatest asset, and that is your ability to take action. Aries, one of the most incredible traits of your sign is your ability to be the pioneer, the entrepreneur, the one leading with thoughts and ideas. The flip side of that, and I can tell from personal experience as an Aries rising and an Aries moon, is you tend to come a bull out of a gate and then initiate ideas, but not necessarily always have the gumption to see them through. This year, your greatest asset is your ability to take action on those ideas, okay? I want you to make sure that you have a plan. Whatever it is that you're thinking about, and it can be on any scale, whatever it is you're wanting, whether that be romance, family, love, and it's here, got to tell you, whether that be business, starting a business, leaving a business, starting something new, whether that be good health, and I see that here for you as well, whether that be travel, whatever it is for you. If you want to achieve it this year, you need to have a plan. You're on the verge of like a major rebirth, okay? And that's why I'm calling this year the game changer for you. But in order to have that rebirth, it's going to require everything you've been and done, every major focus you've had on, every area that you've kind of looked at before, and for you to have that plan to back it up. It's just not enough to go through this year and expect that good things are going to come for you, okay? And the reason for that is because Jupiter, the planet of expansion, growth, power, optimism, inspiration, is in the planet of Capricorn, is in the sign of Capricorn, which rules you know, strategy, planning, forethought, organization. So this year, the key to your success is in your planning, okay? I want you to really challenge yourself to balance your ego this year. It's going to be a bit of a push and pull for you, and I can see that throughout. It's one of your brilliant attributes, my dear passionate Aries, is your ego and your passion, the flame that comes from in that ignites your soul, and you have so much fire here. You can see it in the cards. It's illuminating. But the trick for you, in order to achieve your greatest asset this year, in order to actually achieve everything that you're planning to do, is to learning to balance your ego. And how can you do that? I want you to simply ask yourself, is this for my highest good? And is this for the highest good of all? It's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple question, but I think sometimes when we are focused on achieving our goals and so steely focused on the ideas and the passions that we have, and I can see that particularly in the first half of 2020, my goodness, so still not easy to say. It's kind of surreal, isn't it? But I can see that for you. So you need to really make sure that you act with integrity, okay? Otherwise, the backlash that you will get will be large. Jupiter is in your area of destiny, your destiny in the world. It's in your 10th house, okay? So it's all about your outward contribution to society. What is it that you're doing? What are you trying to create? What are you trying to build? Is it a foundation of love? Are you coming from a place of love? I told you it's here. For you, the big question this year is about, what are your career goals? What is your business? What do you want to create? And it's really important for you to harness this energy because Jupiter won't return for another 12 years to this part of your chart. So it's really important for you to actually go out there and put a plan, as I said, to all of those goals. I'll repeat that one more time. The greatest asset this year is your ability to take action and make sure you have the plan to back it up. All right, so let's get into some dates. Jupiter and Pluto go exact on April 4th, June 30th and November 12th. These dates are the most intense dates that you have for your career progression, let's put it that way. You could also find that during these times you have like a boost in energy. And if I'm honest, if I'm looking at the cards here, April, if I'm looking at June and November, it's funny, it's in a triangle, look at that, the energy. It's pretty vibrant, okay? So note down those dates. Those are the dates that Jupiter and Pluto go exact. It's like a really intense times for you to achieve when it comes to your career. Saturn and Pluto are coupled exactly on the 11th or the 12th of January, depending on where you are. This is a phenomenal aspect going on in the skies. It's going to bring together some conclusions to things, to situations that have been building from 2008 to 2017. Pluto has been in Capricorn, Jupiter's now in Capricorn, and for you, it's all about redefining who you are and what you do for work and in your relationships. And I'll be quite honest, it's literally split even. First half of the year work, second half of the year relationships. As a sneak peek, you have the card of union and love side by side for the end of 2020. So, as I said to you before, it's important to have the plan. It's important for you to actually really think about, who is it that I want to be in this world? Who do I want to represent? Who do I want to leave a legacy as? What kind of person do I want to be? And I don't say those things lightly, right? They're important questions for you to ask yourself. We're entering a new decade. We're heralding a new time. And for you, this is very particular about redefining who you are. Mars enters Capricorn on the 17th of February, and this will all be a turning point about your reputation and career. Again, if you have been using those tips that I've been telling you about planning, strategizing, taking your time, don't just act on your gut, which you are very clever at doing, Aries, but it's important to not be impulsive this year. If you're going to achieve your destiny, if you're going to go for it this year, if you're going to have the game-changing year that you so want and rightly deserve, and it's here for you, the energy is here, then it's up to you to put plan to paper, okay? Whatever happens this year, I want you to know that it's for your highest good. It's for your life path. And there are going to be some big game changes for you this year, my dear Aries. You could be leaving jobs, and I see that for some of you very quickly. You could be leaving certain situations, friends, family, maybe even relationships ending, because I see some ending and some coming in. You've got 2 10s here. You could also be moving to another country or another company. So there's a lot of change for you coming in, okay? And that's to be expected when you have Jupiter, the planet of good luck, good fortune and expansion in your sign. I want to quickly talk about the eclipses, because this is a year of intense eclipses. We have 6 eclipses, can you believe that? And it's quite interesting because it aligns with the North Node and the South Node. So our which way we're going and where we're coming from, North Node, South Node. At the moment, the North Node's in Cancer and the South Node's in Capricorn, so it's showing you where we're going from and to. This year we're going to see a shift out of Capricorn and Cancer into Gemini and Sagittarius. It's going to be a really interesting mix. We start off with a solar eclipse on the 11th of January, and that's in the sign of Cancer, and it represents your 10th house of career. So it's going to be for you having a look at what you do, who it is that you are in the world, what you create, your personal presence in the world, what you contribute to society, your destiny, everything that we've been talking about. It's in the sign of Cancer, as I said to you before, so it's going to be sorry, that's the solar eclipse in the sign of Capricorn in December. I'm getting ahead of myself. And the reason why I wanted to mention that is because it's on the 26th and it's in your house of career and destiny. But then when we go into January, on January the 11th, 10th, 11th, 12th, depending on where you're located in the world, we have the lunar eclipse, and that's in the sign of Cancer. So back to the North Node, we've got the North Node in Cancer, we've got the South Node in Capricorn. It's been this push and pull all year between the matriarch and the patriarch of the zodiac. Now we're really slipping into a whole new foundation for you. In January, the lunar eclipse that's in Cancer will be on your foundation, how you nurture yourself, your home, your family. This could be the time when you're looking at moving house. You could be looking at something big around your foundation. So maybe making a commitment to another person. It's an intense energy, this lunar eclipse, okay? And it's happening at 28 degrees in the sign of Cancer. After that, we then have another lunar eclipse, June 5th, in the sign of Sagittarius. So this is when you can start to see the fire and the air elements coming in, okay? The North Node will shift into Gemini in 2022, but this is preparing us. All of these eclipses are preparing us for what's to come. And you're like going, Ali, what does this bloody mean? Well, let me tell you. The lunar eclipse that's coming through on June 5th in Sagittarius is going to be much easier for you. It's in an area of your chart that deals with beliefs, spirituality, higher consciousness. It talks about long distance travel, and if I'm honest, I see the travel here for you. It's coming. It's also about publishing, sales, again, what you want to do and create. Remembering you've got the backing of Jupiter in your 10th house of fame, of honors. It's really, the world is your oyster of what you want to create this year, Aries. You just need to decide what it is you want. And often, that's the hardest part. Now we have a solar eclipse on June 21st. June's going to be an intense month, and that's at the end of the month. That's at 0 degrees of Cancer. So back again, the eclipse that we had at the beginning of the year, January 10th, we then go to June 21st. So in that 6-month period is your time to really change your foundation, how you nurture yourself, your home, your family, your health. It's really about your foundation, your status in the world. And then by the time you get to June 21st, it'll be a completion of that cycle from the lunar eclipse January to the solar eclipse on June 21st. What have you achieved? It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out for you, because it's going to affect everyone differently. But in that time period, that's when the North Node moves from the area of foundation that we've been talking about into Gemini, which is short distance travel, communication, speaking, writing, teaching, social media. And the final eclipse that happens in that month in June in Cancer on the 21st will be the solstice. So it'll be closing out that 6-month cycle. In the first 6 months, by June, you will complete something. For a lot of you, I think it has to do with moving house, moving location. I see that so strongly in all of your cards for this first 6 months, and it's written in the stars. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're planning a house move, and if you're not planning a house move, then a lot of travel is coming up for you, particularly around your birthday month in March and April. You've got the travel card right here. The second half of the year, the other 3 eclipses that we have coming in, we have the lunar eclipse in July on the 5th in Capricorn. So again, you can see how the North Node, South Node in Cancer and Capricorn are phasing out, and you're starting to get the shift of the North Node moving into Gemini. Gemini and Sagittarius are coming in. So as Capricorn closes out that cycle, and it's the last one in Capricorn, you're going to see the end of the 10th house of career things that have come through from December. So whatever's going on for you at the solar eclipse that happened on the 26th of December, whatever major event happened for you, and you will know, I know what mine is personally, think to whatever happened for you on the 25th or 26th of December. Was it something that came up with your family? Was it something that came up with money? Was it something that came up to do with your career? Whatever it is for you, it closes out a cycle when it comes to that July 5th lunar eclipse in 14 degrees Capricorn. We close out the year with a lunar eclipse in November, 9 degrees Gemini, and then a solar eclipse in December, 23 degrees Sagittarius. Now, I'm not going to talk about those 2 months because that's this part of the year. It has a lot to do with love, and we'll get to that later on in your monthly forecast and in the weekly solar Soul Sunday updates that I do. But for now, I want you to very much focus on that first 6 months, because that's what's going to set you up for the rest of this game-changing year. Right, are you still with me? I just looked at the camera and it's 14:44, which is pretty cool. So that means we've got some angelic guidance with us today. All right, I want to do a quick recap of Mars and Venus. This year we have Mars going retrograde and Venus going retrograde, the divine lovers. Why is that important to you? Because Mars is your ruler, and because, as I said, the second half of your year is going to be very heavily focused on relationships and love. First year is almost like you're game-changing, setting yourself up. You may raise your vibration by moving location. You may raise your vibration by changing workplace. You may even end a relationship, or may even be going through the process of ending a relationship now. I have 2 cards of new beginnings here for you, so it is no surprise for me that that will be happening, Aries. But Mars going retrograde is significant because it's your ruler. It's like the person that represents your sign, and it's in your sign for 6 months in this year. It's going to give you tons of energy and strength. And when Mars retrogrades, it's important to watch out for overreactions. So it's back to balancing that ego part that I said to you before. If you can learn to balance your ego, then you will achieve great things this year. It's not always easy to do, let me tell you. But I think you'll find that September and November could be the period when it goes retrograde, that it could be a time for you to reflect. If you can, try and plan those months as a time to strategize. Mark that down as a note in your calendar, September to November. It's a great time to kind of pull back your energy and strategize. What's really interesting is Venus, the planet that rules love, beauty, wealth, is retrograding between May and June. This is going to be a challenging time for you, make no mistake of it. And if I'm looking at the cards, you have 2 10s here, 2 cards of completion, so it doesn't surprise me because you're preparing yourself for what else is to come. This is a good time to eliminate certain people. Social media, people that you follow that you're going, why am I following this person on Instagram, on Facebook, when they don't bring me joy, they actually bring me sadness and make me feel bad about myself. You'll know the ones. This is a good time for you to go back and disconnect from those people. It's a good time for you to also ask yourself, where do I waste my time? What adds value and what distracts me? Because remember, Aries, you have the ability of having a game-changing year. If you can just put pen to paper, if you can strategize, this is a great checkpoint for you in between May and June to actually have a look at what sucks up your time and what's pulling you away from your plan, okay? I want you to understand in the background, Pluto is transforming your career. It's transforming your destiny in the world. So regardless of what choices you make, regardless of whether you note down the dates, you will achieve the good things that are coming for you. But no successful plan came into place, or no successful dream came into place without a plan, I should say. So it's important, again, and I'm going to keep reiterating it, that you come back to strategy, you come back to your passion and back it up with a plan, okay? I want you to know that Chiron, the wounded healer, is in Aries all year. This is about upgrading your energy. And for some of you, you could very well be leveling up. For those that believe in a spirituality and ascension, this is a year for that. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards of ascension here. It is a game-changing year, as I said. And the reason for that is because it's all preparing you for what's to come in this month, in December, in the big month, right? 2020 for you is a game-changing year because you're going to be shifting your identity. You're going to be going for it. You're going to be laying the foundation. And if you're smart and if you're prepared, you're going to reap the rewards when it comes to 2021. Saturn moves into Aquarius out of Capricorn for the first time in 3 years on the 18th of December 2020. This is significant because Jupiter also moves into Aquarius on the 19th of December. So at the moment, Saturn is in Capricorn, Jupiter is in Capricorn, and this is why I'm talking about planning, strategizing, preparing yourself, because we're getting to the next shift, okay? And it's not a small shift. These 2 planets couple together at 0 degrees on December 21st, which is either winter or summer solstice. This is very, very significant, okay? It's the start of a 20-year cycle, In 2020, on the 21st of December, at summer or winter solstice, depending on where you're located in the world, we begin a new 20-year cycle. And this for you is in the area of your ideals, of your hopes and wishes. Perhaps that's in love. Of your goals, of who you have as friends, of where you network, of sudden luck, opportunity, money you make from the world, money you make from your work, the company you work for, the abundance that you get from businesses that you own. It's more important than that though, because we're entering a new 200-year cycle that begins in the air signs. Remember, I've been talking about that North Node and the South Node in the switch. There is a reason for this happening, the reason for it shifting from that Cancer, that Capricorn heavy energy that we've had, because we're shifting into a fantastic new area. This is the start of the age of Aquarius. So you can see why I mean that this is a game-changing year for you. It's going to be aligning on December 21st at that 0 degrees, right? Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. It's massive. A lot of astrologers are calling this the Great Mutation Year because it's all about the transformation of what's to come, getting rid of anything that doesn't serve us and allowing us to ascend or level up so we can handle the light that's going to come in. But what does that all bloody mean? It's a major focus on wealth, on creation, on material security, and on material goods. Yay! Show me the money! It's going to be huge for us all. It's a big shift in social progress. It's a big shift in intellectual development, new concepts, development of human consciousness. It's also going to be about building your wealth, but in a different way. It's about what's your contribution to humanity. What is it that you're building for the greatest good of all? Aquarius sextiles Aries, so whatever's happening there, it's going to pour positive energy into you. It's all about an opportunity for you to build wealth. It's about an opportunity for you to expand what it is that you're doing in the world. It's an opportunity for you to step up, to find your destiny, to become the person that you've always meant to be, to fulfill abundance, and more importantly, to go for it, Aries. All right, are you ready? Are you ready for your powerful year? Because I think it's time to play with the cards. Okay, so for those who haven't seen my videos yet, this is the beginning of the tarot portion. I have segmented it into two halves. We have January through to June with one major trump card for the overarching energy, and then June through to July with one major trump card for the overall energy. These cards are deeply spiritual cards. I only use them for the yearly readings, and for that reason I'm going to back them up with the traditional Rider-Waite for clarification. Okay, at the end of this reading, of this portion, I'm going to do something a little bit different that I didn't do last year. I'm actually going to offer you a yearly forecast for romance, specifically focused on love. You would know by now, listening to the astrology, there's going to be a big year for love for you coming up. So I have a deck that I'm going to use for love, I have a deck that I'm going to use for qualifying, and then I have one for an overarching spiritual message. But if you want to get hold of that, you'll need to subscribe. There's a video on demand link down below where you can rent or purchase that video for yourself for the upcoming year. But let's see if I get it on point for you now. All right, so you still with me? It's a lot to take in, I know. Take a breath, take a breather. I might actually have some water because I'm going to go through this with you in great gusto. All right, it's so funny too that I cut the deck and I ended up on fire for you, Aries. I love that. So let's start with January through to June with your trump card, and then we are going to qualify it with a card from the Rider-Waite deck. Let's see what we have as additional information for you. My palms are already going. All right, Eddie, can I please have you, I call upon you now to give me a clear and accurate reading for the sign of Aries for 2020. Please give me some trump cards for what's coming in for them. I need one card on each month, January through to June. Thank you so much, starting with January. There it is. Oof, makes no surprise. One card for February, please. Age of Aquarius. Oh, my dear Aries, lots of changes coming up. Boom. There's the love. All right, okay. So, in January, you start off with the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Wands. Now, it makes no surprise for me to see this combination come together. The Ten of Wands speaks about reaching the end of a cycle. It talks about feeling exhaustion. Now, typically wands are a card we look for success, for career, for things that need to change. And for you this month, Aries, I feel it's like you're just freaking over it, okay? You may come back from holidays, go into January, and you feel like, I'm over this role. I'm over what I'm doing. This is no longer serving me. You have an aha moment, Ace of Swords, and look at that. How beautiful is that card? It's like, illumination comes through and you get the message that you need to know that this is no longer working for you, my dear Aries. This is a beautiful combination of cards to get because tens all represent a beginning, okay? The great thing about this card is even though you've been carrying all these burdens, and the wands can represent different things. They don't have to be career, but I'm very strongly getting that it's aligned to your career. Whatever it is that you're currently doing, whatever your day-to-day job is that makes you money, that makes you the crust, that allows you to pay the rent, the mortgage, whatever it may be, is tiring you out. It's pushing you to your limits, or it has already pushed you to your limits. You may have had a break over Christmas, you may have not had a break, or you may be coming back from a break and you just walk in and you're like, ugh. That's because you know that this is no longer serving you anymore. Don't be surprised if by the 10th of January, when we have that lunar eclipse coming in the sign of Cancer, that you decide to hand in your resignation and say, see ya, bye, because this doesn't work for me anymore. You have a 10 and an ace side by side together, and that's a beautiful combination to get Aries because it speaks about completion. It shows me that you're ready, that you see things clearly now and how it's no longer serving you. And that's what eclipses are all about. They come in to actually break us up, to shake us up, to make us look at what's no longer working. I don't ever advise you to make a decision when we're in an eclipse portal like we are now from the 26th of December until the 10th of January. Now is not the time to make big decisions. It is the perfect timing for planning, for review. After you get past that lunar eclipse on the 10th or 11th of January, I think for some of us it actually even happens in the morning of the 11th, then that's the perfect opportunity for you to then move forward, okay? And I see that there. The Ace of Swords gives you the clarity. It's like cutting through all the bullshit and going, you know what? This is not for me anymore. Now, coming into February, you have two incredible cards. It's almost like as if you begin something new. You have the Star and the card of abundance. Isn't that incredible? So what's great about these two combined together is the Star represents dreams, wishes, hopes, but it's bigger than that. It's a very healing energy. It often can be seen as a card of retribution. For me, I love the illustration that it's one foot in the water and then it's got all of this angelic support around it. I see these as orbs of angelic support. And then you have the card of material abundance. Remember I said to you, Aries, that this is your game-changing year. This is a year for you to set up the foundations. And if you can put pen to paper and really plan out what you're going to be doing, I can see that from February, not only will a lot of you be starting new jobs, new careers even, some of you can be shifting completely. Like let's say you're a nurse, you could be now becoming a diesel fitting mechanic. I don't know why those two came up as the example, but that's the example. It's like a really dramatic shift for you, but it's aligning you to your highest good, your highest path. I don't want you to have any fear. The opportunity is already there for you. You know it's coming in, you can feel it in your gut. It is you stepping into your power so that you can bring in abundance. Remember what I told you with your astrology update, that this is going to be very much a year for you of achievement, of great success, if you can put in the strategy and the planning behind it. Sit down and write out your goals month by month. Break them down into tangible chunks. Work them out so that you can achieve this beautiful abundance. The Star card is often seen as a gift from the heavens. It's a really beautiful energy. It's major arcana. You cannot avoid this. From an interesting point, we also have Mercury going retrograde, end of February 16th to March 9th. So it is not the best time to buy any new electronics, to buy a new car. This is an opportunity for you to redo, to revise. And it's all about communication. So I feel like at the end of January, you get the clarity that you need and you start something new. And when you come into February, it's your chance to restart. This is your cosmic reset before your birthday. Okay? March. March, wow, what an incredible month. We start March with the Three of Wands and the Nine of Wands. Fire, passion, fire, burn, baby, burn, disco inferno. Okay, I'll keep my 80s to myself. But can you see it? You can't deny this energy. You can't deny how beautiful that is. Three of Wands, what do you see? He looks like he's going traveling. That's because there's a very high chance you could be. This is the month where you could be taking a trip, long distance travel. I mentioned that in your astrology forecast. You could be going overseas. You could be traveling for business, or you could be preparing to travel in April. It could be something that you're doing for your birthday, depending on where it falls, whether it falls in March, whether it falls in April, but there is definitely travel on the horizon. Remember, there's a lot coming up for you this year when it comes to the eclipses, particularly when it comes to Mars and Venus retrograde. You're going to feel energized. You're going to feel like, yeah, baby, I'm rolling in some coin and I'm going to go explore the world. That doesn't come without effort though. And this is what I said to you before. If you can balance your ego this year, look at the smirk on his face. Look at the worry on this guy's face. It's going to be a really good year of success if you can balance the ego. If not, then be prepared for Saturn to be the hard taskmaster and pull you back in. It'll be very humbling, like drop you to the ground. Okay, that kind of energy. These cards are showing me that here. On one hand, you've got money, you've got the ability to travel. Maybe you are planning a break. Maybe that's when you're planning to do something for your birthday. It could be around Easter time that you're planning to do it, but you're preparing to take a leap of faith, okay? Then this shows you all the work that you have to do and how much work you actually do have to do. Remember, you have the 10 of Wands here, so you've already let go of all the previous sticks, only just to pick up new ones, okay? So no success comes without putting in great effort. And for you, it's all about balancing achievement, reward, abundance, and effort, yin versus yang, okay? It's really important for you to do things this month in March that ground your energy. Meditate. If you want to know in terms of energy, I'll put a link to the video at the end of what I do when it comes to cleansing my energy. But it's really important for you in this month to cleanse your energy so that you don't let this energy take over. April, you have the card of 11, the Counselor, water energy. This is unique to this deck and it's coupled with the Page of Cups. Lots and lots of water. It doesn't surprise me because I told you that we have the Venus retrograde coming through that's really going to ask you to have a look at what's going on, and that happens in May. For you, the Counselor card asks you to have a look at your emotions, what it is that you're actually putting out into the world this month. It could also be a time where you're reviewing who you love. Okay, and I mean love in a romantic sense. I mean love in a family sense, in a friendship sense, in all aspects, okay? It's water energy. It is often referred to as the card of emotional intelligence, your EQ. And what's interesting is that it's coupled with the Page of Cups. So two things are apparent for me here, and this could be a reading for two separate Aries. This could be the catalyst, and we'll see when I do the romance read and I dig into it further. This could be the catalyst for you of making a proposal, making a change. For my single Aries, this could be the thought that starts the catalyst for your new beginning when it comes to love, that 20-year cycle that's going to begin at the end of the year for you, and it really is coming in. All that bad pattern of behavior of love that's been holding you back, and we'll delve deeper into that in the romance read. This could be the beginning of it for you. For others, it could be representing the need to let go of something in order to give your cup of love to another. And I don't say that lightly. This is a general reading, obviously, for a 2020 forecast for the energy of Aries, but your personal situation and your personal ability to see through what resonates with you is needed here. If you're in a happy marriage and relationship, I don't want you to take this as something that is like, oh, she said we're going to break up in that month. However, you know if things haven't been great in your connection. You know if there've been more struggle than of late. This is something that's been will have been plaguing you since 2008. It's like a slow build. It's that Pluto transforming this energy for you. 2008 to 2017 and the last couple of years have been really highlighting where it is you need to make a change. The Counselor card asks you to do that in this month, okay, in preparation for coming into May when Venus goes retrograde. It's really asking you to delve deep into, what does this person mean to me anymore, or what do I mean to them? And for those that are single, as I said, this is more about you aligning your energy so that you can draw someone in. The month of April, whether you're traveling, whether you're celebrating for your birthday, whether it's the month of Easter, could really be a big turning point for you. And I say that with confidence because you then coming into May and June, and you have, and I'm not joking, 2 10s. The 10 of Wands and the 10 of Air, the 10 of Swords. These are not great cards to get together, okay? This is a card of, this is the Swords, this is the Wands. This is a card in traditional tarot that shows a guy flat face down with swords in his back. But only by reaching that and having the swords in his back is he able to actually have a look at what no longer serves him and what needs to change. And this is a card, this same card that's here in traditional tarot, repeating itself for you again. So if you haven't taken my message of balancing your ego here, this 9 of Swords that's come in, that's asking you to keep the balance between what you're trying to achieve and the weight of the world, the heaviness. March is going to be a really big career month for you. Then it's going to catch up with you when it comes to June. But let's talk about May. May, as I said, is when Venus goes retrograde. It is going to be a challenging time for you. Make no doubt about it, okay? I wish I could tell you that it's all rainbows and lollipops, but I'm not that kind of reader, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. 10 of Swords, knifed in the back, betrayal, people betraying you, you betraying others. It could go both ways. I'm not sure what it is for your personal situation, but May is when it comes to a head. Venus retrograde, for a lot of you, this will be when you end a certain relationship, okay? It is coupled with the 5 of Swords. So much air energy, but it's almost like as if you finally see clearly and you're like, you know what, I don't think we can actually get beyond this point. Or if I talk from it from more of a spiritual plane, it may be that you actually see that this person no longer serves you and who you're transforming into, who you're becoming. Remember, I told you this year is a master year for you in terms of your destiny. It's all about Chiron, the wounded healer, coming in to be with you all year to heal anything that no longer works, to shift out energy that doesn't work, particularly when it comes to your intimate relationships, your friendships, things that you love. And I said to you earlier that May and June was a great time to eliminate certain people from your life, from social media, you know, asking yourself, where do you waste your time? And one of the big areas that no longer serves you could be that of your most intimate relationship. The 10 of Swords and the 5 of Swords, in its very basic literal form, speaks about change in a situation that no longer is fulfilling. The 5 of Swords speaks about winning a battle but losing a war. It's kind of like the final straw, the final argument. And Aries, remember I told you, if you can't control that ego, and particularly in this month your temper, then you will lose someone for good. And for some of you that could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, that you actually decide to walk away from. I want you to know, if that is the case, what I've learnt from heartbreak and loss is that sometimes it's not all a bad thing. I have evolved so much when it comes to love, and what I want to pass on to you now, and Spirit's asking me to tell you, is that often people come into our life for a particular period of time, be that a one-night stand, yes, they're healthy, be that a 2-week holiday fling, be that a 10-year marriage, be that a 20-year marriage. The time limit is irrelevant. Whatever it is for you, I want you to know that if this rings true, if you're sitting there with that lump in your throat thinking the fear, how am I going to survive without this person, or how is my life going to be? It is your destiny to make that change. You have major arcanas here. Even if you don't want this change, it's coming for you whether you're ready or not, okay? So if you don't take heed of caution of this energy, if you don't manage your ego and what I told you coming in, if you don't balance it and have a plan, and more importantly, if your partner's not on the same page as you when it comes to that plan, because typically that's why relationships change and outgrow, because two people change and their goals and wants and needs in life change and evolve, then it's time to let that person go with love and move on to your next level. Or as I've said before, ascend and level up. Deep, but that's what's coming. Big breath. Are you ready? June. Another 10. I'm sorry. 10 of Wands, rearing its ugly head again, but that's no surprise because your Aries, your passion, your fire. Remember what I said, and I sound like a broken horse, I know, but it's like if you can actually put a plan in place, if you can challenge yourself this year, every time that you go to act on something, you go to act with ego, you go to act with anger, if you can challenge yourself and stop yourself and say, is this for my highest good and for the highest good of all? And if it's not, then make that change with love in your heart, then you'll avoid these situations, or maybe perhaps not avoid them, but be able to manage them a bit easier. June is going to be another month or a pivotal month for you when it comes to your career. Now, remembering from an astrology point of view, we have an eclipse, 2 eclipses in June. We have the one in Sagittarius in your sister sign, fire sign, in the beginning of the month. That's the lunar eclipse, which is going to close out whatever lessons that you haven't done from the one in Capricorn in December. And then we have another one at the end of the month at solstice on the 21st at 0 degrees Cancer. It's coupled with the 3 of Swords. Now you saw me shuffle, you saw them come out. So this shows me that for a lot of you, you will be going through some kind of heartbreak or hurt or pain in June. I'm sorry, I'm just the messenger, don't shoot me. But the whole point of going through these things, again, reaching your limit. You know how I said to you in the beginning, you had the Ace here and you had the 10 of Wands, and I said to you, I feel like that's career. This is love for you. And again, it could be with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Sometimes it's important to understand that things need to end in order for us to evolve, and we need to evolve separately apart from one another. Sometimes it just is like a friendship has burnt out and we've lost the fire and passion, and other times it's more aggressive than that. This combination of swords and fire is showing me that passion could have died and intelligence is telling you that it's time to let go. It could be, I don't know why I keep having so many horse analogies. I'm so sorry for that. But I was about to say, it's like flogging a dead horse, broken horse, it's like poor horses. But it could be that you've come to the end of the line with someone. And look, for some of you, it's not your romantic partner. As I said, use your own personal judgment to resonate what it does with you. For some of you, this is a long-terming friendship, best friend. For others of you, it could be career or where you live, but I feel deeply that this is about an emotional connection, particularly because, as I've said to you, you've got Venus retrograde in this month. It's that time to eliminate certain people, eliminate anything that's no longer serving you, and asking yourself, does this add value to myself and where I'm going? Make no doubt, Aries, it is going to be in a challenging 2 months, May and June for you. But it's all for good reason. Your main overarching energy is that of the Ace of Wands. Yes! This is beautiful. You have 2 aces in your spread. You begin the year with the Ace of Swords, clarity. Clarity about who you are, where you're going. It's like a light bulb is switched on for you. It's not going to happen on the 1st, okay? Just because we celebrate on the calendar year does not mean that these things are going to happen for you. It's about energy. And energetically for you, it's all going to come to play at that lunar eclipse in January, 28 degrees Cancer, and it'll be on the either the 10th or the 11th of January. It's because you're stepping up, okay? The Ace of Wands is your overarching energy for the whole month. So what's driving you this month? The key driver for you is your passion, your creativity. Who is it that you want to be in this world? What is it that you want to create, Aries? And I said that to you before. The energy that's coming through, Chiron, the wounded healer that's in Aries all year, it's been in your sign for a reason, because it's asking you to rediscover who you are. Redefine who you are. Who is this new person? What are you doing? What are you creating in the world? And unfortunately, sometimes that means that we need to leave certain aspects of ourselves and our old lives behind. And that, for you, my dear Aries, is the first 6 months. Take a deep breath, because the second 6 months is pretty epic. Are you still with me? Okay, so I'm just moving the cards all back into play for you. Let's have a look and get some qualifiers for your second 6 months. 6 cards, please. 1 on July through to December. starting with July. I'm not going to take any of those because that was my poor shuffle, not anything coming out. July through to December, please. One card each on each month. There we go. Boom. There you are, Aries, coming up in the center of your reading. Nice and healthy in August. Remembering you have Mars in your chart this whole year, so the energy is pretty intense. It's a lovely synchronistic card to get on these two, by the way. You have a lot of major arcana coming in the second half of the year, and that's because you're shifting, you're stepping into the new. Okay, so June. Just after you go through two of the most challenging months of the year for you, you enter June. And remember I said, July. Remember I said June was going to be the really challenging months. We have two eclipses, one lunar, one solar. Well, we come into July and we start off with the lunar eclipse again, closing out, doing that final closing of anything that you still haven't from December. You have the scribe, so air, coupled with the Knight of Wands. Just want you to have a look at the scribe for a second and tell me what you see when it comes to visualizing. Do you see how wise this scribe is? Do you see all the wisdom that he carries with him? Do you see the connection of the scarab here? There's so much symbolism in this card. Take from it what you will, but there is a lot of energy when it comes to this card. Even my hands are shaking as I hold it up to you. The reason for that is because this is your turning point, okay? July is a significant month for you of expansion. It's where you start to actually come into your own. Remember what I told you is coming for you at the end of the year in December, and it's beautiful, right? I know it seems a bit like challenging here, but in December you're getting ready for the new 200-year cycle, a new 20-year cycle that's coming through, and it's very significant, all about your ideals, your hopes and wishes. So you have to be kind of born again. I love this because it couples with your fire energy and it also couples with wisdom and intelligence. This is air, okay? It's asking you to draw upon your passion and your brain in order to create and build. And that's what I've been talking about all this year. You have fantastic ideas, Aries. You have some of the best ideas. You are the pioneer, but it's going to take perseverance, preparation, and passion in order to bring them to the fore. July for you is going to be a big month where you're really going to be having a look at your mid-year goals. Like, what have you achieved? You're going to be asking yourself that too. Don't be surprised if you get to July and then you're like, okay, I need to have a bit of a reset. What is it that I'm still working towards, and asking yourself those questions, because it will happen, okay? It's almost like, okay, we've gotten through that. Now where are we going? Once again, be careful not to be the bull out of gate rushing coming in. For some of you, it could be that a male fire sign comes in and is very significant, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or this could just represent your energy and wanting to go for things. August. Knowledge is power, is it not? There you are, Aries, coming up trump as the Emperor. In August, that could be one of your very best feel-good months, okay? In terms of planets, it's like great alignment. We don't have any retrogrades. We don't have any Mercury retrograde. We don't have any Venus or Mars retrograde. Planets are aligned. It's a good month for you to actually achieve. Sorry, I tell a line. We do have Uranus retrograde August 15th, but it's going to have less of an effect on you than all the others. This is a month for you when you could be really coming up trumps, okay? I think that's where this is showing your inner wisdom, your inner knowledge, that scribe that I was saying coming through, understanding that knowledge is power. It could be a month of great achievement for you, of some recognition, some sort of award. I don't know what's going on. For some of you, it's end of financial year. For others of you, it's summer. it's like a turning point in August, okay? And you're really going to step into your own. You could feel very confident. You could finally start to study or realize that you need to learn something. There's something missing for you to, in order for you to progress and achieve on your next path. You could meet a fellow air sign or a leader or a boss type that just influences you or takes you under their wing as a bit of a mentor. I want you to know that this is a month where it's starting to see the new you. Okay, I've been talking about it all year. It's like shedding your skin, stepping to a new you. This is where you can start to see it. Okay, your confidence is soaring. So it's almost like the wounds that you felt from May and June are starting to wear off. Whatever it is that you've lost, I want you to know was not a loss, Aries. Okay, it was preparing you for what was to come. September, we have King of Cups coupled with the Hermit, which does represent Virgo. This is really interesting energy for you. It's a bit of a push and pull, and it doesn't surprise me because, you know, once we actually get into that energy, that new you, it's all about implementing it, right? It's what I've been talking about for you. It's all about putting action behind your plan in order to achieve it. The important thing for you that I want you to remember in this month is that it's okay to retreat if you need a bit of a reprieve. The Hermit card is quite a spiritual card. It speaks about going within, and it's coupled with the King of Water, Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. This could be someone that's quite influential to you. You could be planning a spiritual retreat. You could be having a moment in September where you actually just take a breather and recalibrate. And it's no surprise that your avatar, your ruling planet Mars retrogrades September 9th through November 13th. So it goes from 28 degrees Aries to 15. I know it's not the best kind of news to get. It's like you're here, Trump, right? You're here on fire, feeling confident. It's like you get a little bit of taste of what's to come. And then all of a sudden, you just feel like you want to pull the blanket over your head and go into a little bit of a retreat. It's not ideal because we are coming into, it's like that spring, autumn, depending on where you are in the world, energy. But for you, it's really important that you do just that. I mentioned to you this before with the divine lovers going retrograde this year, that September and November is a good time for you to reflect, okay? It's a good time for you to re-strategize. It's almost like you do this here and you go, and then you achieve, and then it's like, okay, breathe. My suggestion for you with this month, if you can, if you haven't planned it already, plan yourself a little weekend of solitude, a weekend for you to actually have some moment to step back from whatever it is that you're planning you're doing. Ladies, it's a perfect day for a spa day, to go away for the weekend in the mountains or by the beach, whatever it is that works to your soul center. Gentlemen, it's just exactly the same. I want you to step back to have a think about what you've been through, where you've been, where you're going, because this will be a huge month for you in doing so. Right, November. It's almost like as if we go through that period and then it's like, boom, here we go. So in November, we have the Crone with Temperance, beautiful energy. You remember I said to you, one of your challenges this year is all about balancing your ego, asking yourself, is this for my highest good and for the highest good of all? That's what you will be doing when it comes to, what did I say? October, my apologies, October. It's all about balancing out that energy, really actually taking what you've learned in your month of reflection or in your weekend or in your day of reflection, whatever it is that you can put aside for yourself, and then actually going, you know what, I'm going to now pivot and do the X. I'm going to now really look for a networking group that helps me here. You're going to find the balance when it comes to October is what I'm saying. The Crone often looks like a very bleak card. She looks like a bit of a mage, or you know, magician, a wizard, whatever you want to call her. But she is deeply rooted in the earth and connected to the spiritual realm. If you've done some work in the month of September, then coming into October will be a great chance for you to balance both sides. And for those that don't have a spiritual practice, it's just all about balancing what you do and create in the world with the time that you have for yourself. It's like you're finally going to have a light bulb moment this month where something will turn on and it will just click and you go, ah, That's how I do it now. That's how I can make that money. That's how I can put that plan into action. That's how I can make everything happen. This is the moment for you. This is the month where you'll get the clarity about how you can actually turn your passion into a money-making idea. Beautiful, really beautiful angelic guided energy October, okay? November, so exciting. Okay, so as if you hadn't done enough already, you have another 10. Just to be clear, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 10s in this spread, another 10 of swords. Look, it's not ideal, okay? But as I've said to you before, this is really the game-changing year for you. Imagine that you're a snake and you're shedding your skin. You need to do it a few times over in different areas of your life, because you're stepping into your destiny. You're stepping into this new 20-year cycle, and you will never be the same again. You can't step into a year of intellectual development, of new concepts, of sudden fame, of luck, opportunity, hopes and wishes without shedding things that no longer serve you. If for whatever reason you survive the May and June area, if you survive those eclipses and you remain with your partner, then whatever has been unresolved or not sorted out, it can happen again for you in November. For some of you, if you don't split and if you continue going on, or if you stay together and work through your challenges, which is very likely, you know, I'm just telling you the energies that's coming, it's up to you what you want to do with it, then the opportunity or the energy could present itself again in November. For others of you, this could represent the ending of being single, right? The ending of a long year of shitty girlfriends and boyfriends, of people that have used your trust and abused your trust, who have really hurt you. I mean, this is not a card of great happiness. It's bleak, it's dark for a reason, but it's only in going through all of that that we can find the light, right? Yes, that sounds wanky, but I know, I've been there. And it's these things that make us stronger, that build us into the person or the people that we are today. And in going through that, that's how you can prepare for this divine union. This is a card that represents twin flame energy. For those that believe this is the month where you could finally connect with your twin flame, where you could leave the person that no longer suits you and find the right one for you on both the 3D, the 5D, the 12D, the spiritual plane. Okay, it's very yin and yang. You can see the feminine, the masculine energy. For those that don't hold the belief, this is the month where you could meet your soulmate, or finally come into be in contact with your soulmate, or actually commit to your soulmate. It's only through going through what you've been through in the past 10 years that you're able to shed that skin and now attract this beautiful connection, okay? It's all been worth it, Aries. Everything that you've been through, every challenge, every hurdle, every heartbreak, every loss, it's coming up to this point, okay? The card of union, absolutely beautiful. Look at that. It's two full people, two full separate wholes coming together to make another individual unique energy, okay? It's only through going what you've been through that you're able to know who you really are, that you're able to step into your own power, Aries, to figure out who it is that you want. For some of you, it's about self-worth, and it's going through and understanding that yes, you can be the boss, you can be the leader, and only when you do that, only when you come into that energy in August, are you now able to attract and draw back in your perfect harmonious union, okay? It's letting go of all the shit so that you can bring this in. Beautiful energy. And I have to be honest, I cannot wait to see what comes out when I qualify with the romance cards and see what comes up to qualify that further. But that's what's happening for you in November. Absolutely gorgeous. And you know, it doesn't surprise me at all, because November 30th, we have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Gemini. So it's eclipsing out all the shit to bring in the new. And just as I say that, what comes in? Brand new connection in love. Now, you can't make this shit up, right? You saw me shuffle. That is the card of love. That is the card of divine love, of true love, of harmonious love coming through with the card of the Ace of Wands, brand new beginning. Look at that. Brand new, passionate beginning when it comes to love. Fresh new start, new 20-year cycle, someone coming in that's going to be with you for the next 20 years of your life. I don't say that lightly, and it doesn't surprise me because this is a repeating message. It's the same card coming up for you twice, okay? Ace of Fire, Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands. It's what, as I said to you before, what you were spending this first 6 months preparing for. As hard as it's going to be as hard as hell. It's like you're going to have these moments when you're going to fuck, what am I doing? It will literally be like that. Make no mistake about it, particularly in May and June. And that's because this is what's coming for you. Look at the beauty of that card. Look at how gorgeous that card is. Most people wish and want, they come to readers and like, tell me when I'm going to meet my soulmate. Tell me when it's going to happen. Well, Aries, there's a very good chance for some of you that haven't done it, that haven't met that person in your lifetime yet, that it's coming for you between November and December. Look at this. Divine union, perfect harmony in love. You cannot make this shit up. And what makes that even more perfect is the ending of one cycle and the beginning of harmonious love and passion in the other, side by side. The death of one and the beginning of a new. Look at that gift from the heaven. December is going to be a beautiful month for you, particularly when you get to the 21st. Remember, I told you it's incredibly significant. Saturn moves into Aquarius. You have Jupiter in Aquarius, and the two coupled together at 0 degrees on the 21st. It's massive. It's on solstice. It's just huge. You are going to have a kismet moment where you just go, holy crap. Everything will make sense now. Everything that you've gone through, everything you've gone through since 2008 is bringing you to this moment and to this point. And it is absolutely glorious, Aries. You're going to have the most incredible 2021. It's like a launch pad for you, right? Like if I could just show you a frog leaping through. But in order to get there, you have to go through a transformation, okay? What's incredible is that your major overarching energy for the month or the last half of the year, so the months from June to December, is the 8 of Pentacles. It's earthy energy. What does the 8 of Pentacles represent? It represents someone who is a master at their skill, who's been working diligently and who's used their time wisely and is now almost about to see the fruits of their labor. 8s are very karmic. They're all about a good karma, ending a cycle, bringing in a new, and that can't be any more apparent in your reading. The 8 of Pentacles speaks about good fortune. And what did I say to you? You're about to begin a new 20-year cycle, and your areas of ideals, hopes and wishes, your goals, your friends, sudden luck and opportunity. This energy is here with you for the whole 6 months, the second half of the year, for you to harness, for you to tap into, overarching everything that's going on. You have this beautiful fire energy, this Ace of Wands coming in for your first 6 half, to know that's what you're working towards, no matter how challenging it gets. And I want you to watch this video and rewatch it and come back and rewatch it, because it will help you. And then you'll realize that's right. I've got this beautiful, earthy, grounded energy, this card of achievement. This shows me that you have put in the plan, that the plan's now starting to come into fruition. And that doesn't surprise me, because look at this. You're stepping into your own, Aries. You're stepping into your power. You're having the knowledge to figure out who you are and what you want in this world. And truthfully, that's the biggest gift about this lifetime, is stepping into who we really are. And if you can do that, Aries, this year, if you can harness that energy, well, look at what's coming for you. Divine union when it comes to love. Absolutely gorgeous. Aries, it's going to be an incredible year. I can't even begin to use the words. As I said, I was nervous doing this reading for you, and hopefully you're still with me. But let me recap for you just quietly. You have a year, first 6 months of career change, of some travel, of learning to balance your ego and your temper, of someone sparking love in you again, and maybe potentially for some of you walking away from something that's no longer serving you. All the while, I want you to know you have this beautiful Ace of Wands, this beautiful new bright creative beginning when it comes to your work, who you are, what you do in this world, your destiny. The second 6 months is all preparing you for who you need to become, about rediscovering who you are. You go through a phase where you kind of make a step forward and then feel like you take 10 steps back before you really find your balance, your enlightenment, and then come into a new with your cosmic partner. It's going to be one hell of a ride, but my goodness, what a game-changing year. All right, my loves, that was the end of the reading. I hope you found it helpful. I am going to draw for you a spiritual guidance message now for all of you right now at this point, at the end of 2019, going to 2020. And for those that are interested and want to delve deeper and have a look at the romance aspect of this reading month by month, I will also be doing that for you on an extended link. You can find that down below. Same cards. I'm just going to go deeper, add a card each month by month when it has a look at your romance. Okay? But let's draw one card for you all now as your spiritual message as you go from one year into a new, completely new decade. Thank you, Eddie. What's the most important message for the sign of Aries? Please show me. Universal law. And the card says, everything in the universe consists of energy formed into different vibrations. All that is experienced and created in this life is the result of the magnetic law of attraction. Through this law, energies of the same type come together. Whatever you focus on will come into your life. The universe will never judge you, and as such makes no distinction between good and bad. It only organizes energies according to similarity. Today, create a vision for your life. Feel your vision, feel that feeling, and radiate it through your mind, body, and spirit. Hold that feeling, meditate on it, become it, and very soon you will have many manifestations of your highest visions for your life. Boom, Aries, ain't that the truth? The game-changing year, my friends, it's coming for you. I hope you found this reading helpful. It was a pleasure doing it for you. I can't wait to read your comments. I wish you much love and light as you enter this new decade. It really is a time of transformation for you, of rediscovering who you are, the game-changing year. And for those that have liked this video, please hit the thumbs up. As I said, if you want to stay with me, I'm going to do the extended version and delve deeper into the romance read, and you can find the link at the beginning of the description bar below. I wish you much love and light. Take care.